Welcome back, YouTube, to part 5. We're defining wealth. We're talking about the wealthy mentality, right? Because this is ultimately what we need to know if we want to get to that next step in our lives, to be like the wealthy people we admire and we look up to, right? And one of the important principles of wealth building is you get things on sales and discounts, right? Because in this world, money ebbs and it flows. And just because you can afford it right now doesn't mean you can afford it later on. And trust and believe, I got caught up in that trap myself. I made big purchases because I had the money at the time, and then 2 or 3 emergencies came up 3 to 6 months down the line. I'm like, crap, it would have been great to have that money that I spent those 6 months ago. So it's important to realize that when you're looking for these sales and discounts, it helps you that much more, because now you're shaving off some money and some dollars for the same product that you want to buy. So for instance, let's say you want to get that big screen TV, man. You've been waiting for that 70-inch TV. It's $1,500 today, but if you wait until Black Friday, you can get it for $800. Why not save $700, right? That delayed gratification can keep $700 in your pocket. And what you do with that $700 is up to you, right? You can go blow it on a vacation, or you can go invest it into the stock market and multiply it, right? And that's the way the wealthy think. They're constantly trying to save their money and only get things on discount so that they can use that discounted money in a different way to be able to grow their money. So, a simple principle you can do, right? And I typically do this with higher purchase items, right? You got to get what you got to get. But if you're going to do like a big vacation, buy a fancy car, get that big screen TV, like I said, use the 5X spending rule, right? The 5X spending rule is a simple principle, right? If you can buy that item 5 times over, do not purchase it, right? And doing that is going to help you be able to build enough liquidity and money up to the point where when you get those things that you desire, you don't feel guilty about it. And it's allowing you to be able to prepare for a rainy day that you don't even know it's going to happen. So if you can't afford those things 5 times over, you can't afford it in general. Using that 5X principle is going to help you in the long run, right? Also, understanding timing as a wealthy individual is important, right? Timing is about discounts. You can't always get discounts at the time that you want it. You can get discounts only in certain time ranges. As an example, when it comes to stock investing, right? I take a course. This course is telling me you should buy Apple, right? In your mind, you're like, oh yeah, let me go get Apple. You don't realize you just purchased Apple at its 52-week high because you bought this course a year later, when at the time the economy was down and that person bought Apple at a discount. So now what happens is your money immediately starts losing value because you got it at its highest point, and there's only one way for it to go, and that's down. So timing things is so important and so important. You can't always time the market perfectly, but you can use certain technical analysis and elements to be able to make a smart decision in purchasing a stock, right? Warren Buffett is a guru when it comes to this. He is not buying stocks when it's near its 52-week high or when the market is doing amazing, right? He's waiting, he's holding, he's sitting on cash until that point where the market is doing bad, similar to what it's doing right now, and he's allocating his cash to buy up these companies so that he can get sole ownership of these companies dang near. So understanding timing is extremely important to your wealth building journey, right? Don't just get things to get it. Get them when they make sense, okay? The last thing is you want to do your best to buy things that grow in value, not buy things that lose value. And I get it. There's things that we like, and it's just a purchase for our happiness, our mental well-being. And I'm not telling you don't ever get things like that. But when you're wealthy, that should be done sparingly. The more items you can get that can grow in value, the more wealth you're going to get over time. So figure out a way to have that balance. Some unconventional things is like, if you like artwork, you can buy art that appreciates in value. You can buy antiques and things like that. These are ways to get the knickknacks and things that you love from a mental perspective and still have it grow in value. But if you're always buying things that as soon as you get it, you're making someone else richer, but you're making yourself poorer, that's a recipe for disaster. So find ways to purchase as many items as possible that 5 years down the road is worth 5 times the amount, 10 times the amount, 100 times the amount. You may not know, but as long as it's growing in value, you know you made a good purchase. Sales and discounts, people. This is so important to building wealth. Okay?
Put that work in. 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 They got to catch up. Cause I'm too fast like Usain. Don't put me in no one-on-one, get cooked up. Well done. Came about that low pond, but now I'm swimming with